Leaking hatchback, take one. The first thing I noticed when it was pouring down raining one day was that this gasket was short right here, so there was water gushing in here. The other thing I noticed was this light also had some water coming out of it, so the first amount of corrective action was taking both of these lights out. There's 6 8mm studs, 8mm nuts that come off, and I took out the old gasket and put new silicone, just freehand silicone. You kind of have to bend this in a little bit to where all the studs come in at the same time. You have to finesse it a little bit. I would recommend practicing before you actually put the silicone in to make sure you can get it in there pretty quickly without messing it all up. The other thing too is you want to put a little bead right here, because the rain will get in between the red lens and that part. And if you have any cracks, I know that's ugly as shit, but if you just want to keep the water out, it's going to help to do that kind of thing too. The other thing, addressing this part, this is one solid seal, and I challenge you to find this stateside that's not used or ridiculously overpriced. I found this in Japan for about $200 including shipping. That eliminated a lot of this and the leaking here, doing the silicone thing I was talking about. But I found that even then, lifting the hatchback, there was water coming out of here somewhere, probably on this side, because the water seemed to always spill right here where you can see the stain. So here I am today. Took off the bottom trim of the outside where the window actually meets the frame, and that piece is 4 8mm nuts. This one broke off, and on the end you have these plastic frame clips. There's like a little nut, kind of like a nub sticking out so that it snaps in place. I managed to break one of them off, and I also managed to break one of the studs off. But right now, I'm just scraping all the old shit off and vacuuming up all the little pieces of trash that are in there. My plan is to get this really clean and put a nice fat bead of caulk around these clips and around these studs when the molding goes back in. My only concern now, and I'm a little bit concerned with aesthetics, is that this trim had some kind of black covering on it and it's just flaking off. So I'm probably going to tear all of this off and maybe buff it down or clean it with some really good cleaning agent, maybe some hydrochloric acid to get it down to this, and maybe plasti dip it, paint it flat black again so that it disappears like it did. But this is sort of a last ditch effort to just keep water out of the damn thing, man. This body's not perfect. It's an 87. I've got rust in places here and there, and this one has one of those non-factory sunroofs, and you can see somebody caulked the ever-loving shit out of it at one point. There's no leaking here, but there's leaking on the light in the front by the rearview mirror. So I went ahead and ran another bead of caulk right here. This is probably my next project for keeping water out of it. But anyway, thought I would share this because I didn't even think to do this till today with enough liquid inspiration, as they might say. Anybody got any tips or suggestions or shortcuts or any condemnations or praise? I'd love to hear it. Cheers, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.